I believe many of us are undergoing some of the greatest shifts, changes, and mastery that we've ever experienced in our life. For right now, just returning back from Mexico, integrating and seeing my own healing journey on a macro level, it's phenomenal to see what's happening on the collective level and how to move through some of the greatest areas that we can possibly go through in just the art of letting go. For a couple weeks ago, I went back to a beloved town that I served such a labor of love in dedicating my life, healing practice, and everything that I could share to this beautiful community of Sayulita, Mexico. And what was so amazing, coming back and excitement and joy and happiness, I was also coming back to many areas of sadness, of pain, of shock, and emotions that have been stored deep within. And the reason I'm sharing this because this personal journey gave me so much insight of what it is to meet these emotions, these energies, emotions, these illusions, or even somewhat what we call limitations. For when I left Sayulita, it was amazing that for many years, I would have dreams weekly about myself being in this town, of it changing, and all these unique settings that I was there, but in a whole different frame of mind and work. So coming back to this beautiful place, which has changed faster in the 5 years I was away than the 10 years of service, it was an amazing healing journey to recognize what I was still holding on to the past, which enabled me not to move to the present because I was still holding a lot of old memories and a lot of old situations that kept me in what I felt a limited place. For I know many of us, it's hard to let go. You know, holding on to a place, to a career, sometimes creates that security, that identity, that validation of who we are. Yet, I believe letting go could be one of the biggest and greatest gifts we give to our ascension process. Because in this letting go process, it opens up so much more space for us to expand and grow of what the present wants to teach us. So when I arrived in Sayulita, I noticed my mind reflecting and thinking of all the memories of all the people, those that have deceased, how the town has changed. Just a lot of heaviness came up out of surprise in my first couple of days because I was just releasing many tears. And what I found so helpful for me was really to embrace, meet, respect, honor, forgive, and fully love each emotion and each energy that came forward. Out of surprise, I realized it wasn't just on an emotional level, but it was in a cellular level within my body. For if anyone has ever traveled to Mexico, there's this beautiful condition called Montezuma's revenge, or what we would call massive diarrhea. So in my first couple of days, I realized that as I was moving through this emotional process of letting go of the sadness of abruptly leaving a town that I cherished with all my heart, leaving a beautiful town that weaves you into their family immediately, and feeling like a loss of family, or even this sense of losing my identity that I have built for 10 years, started to arise within my emotions. And as I was moving through them in breath, in meditation, in releasing through sadness, I also recognized my body also had to release it physically through a beautiful detoxification process of what we know as Montezuma's revenge. And so I share this because I realize if any of you have gone back to old homes, past experiences, situations where we may have thought we have fully resolved, cleared, or come to complete alignment. It's always important to feel through the emotional body, the mental body, and the physical body of what's coming up. For even though I was super excited, happy, and joyous to be in a place that I love so much, on the flip side, there was all of these energies that wanted to make itself known. And sometimes, you know, under our human condition, we avoid what doesn't feel comfortable. We know the old program, it's not okay to feel not okay, so sometimes we suppress them or compartmentalize them. Yet, in this healing journey for me, I met one by one each of these emotions. The emotion of loss, the emotion of sadness, the emotion of rapid change that really gave me the opportunity to not only meet these energies in motion, but to let go of what was been residing so deep in my body, because I wasn't even aware of half of these energies that were still within myself some 5 years later. So as I've been reflecting these past couple of days and integrating a phenomenal experience, what I've really learned and what I've really become more insightful for is when I met these heavy densities, when I allowed them to move through my body through diarrhea, there was this acceptance that started to open up my energetic field. And what I mean by opening up my energetic field, I felt that there was more space for my heart, for my joy to be expanded into, for my happiness, and my ability to just allow and accept everything that was moving through. For these densities and this heaviness that was moving through me really gave me the opportunities to step back and to see how they were never fully brought into the light. They were never fully brought into the presence to be seen, to be heard, to be healed, and most important, to be accepted. And so in Sayulita, even though I was moving quite rapidly, doing some beautiful healing events, working with some amazing individuals, on my times that I was by myself, I sat there and met each area of density. I sat with the sadness and I breathed with it, embracing it. I sat with even the guilt of feeling like I left so many people in a time that I was working with them monthly, yearly, and I met that guilt. I met with this sense of loss, that the community that embraced me so deeply that all of a sudden they would disappear and they would no longer be there when I came back. And through meeting each of these areas, it gave this sense of joy, this sense of happiness, and this sense of completion, that I could take the time and really allow the healing to come forth. Because it's interesting when sometimes we move so fast in this human journey, or we get so busy, or we move from one place to another, that we may accidentally bury these feelings, or these emotions, or these sensations that want to be seen and heard. And of course, the universe will find some way to make it happen, whether it's through Montezuma's revenge, whether it's through pulling a hamstring on a surfing wave just to slow myself down and recognize this flow that naturally wants to come through each and every one of us in the harmony of what life gives us on a daily basis. And so what I really learned was, by revisiting a past experience, a town that had so much love generated deep within my soul, I also had to look deeper within myself to see what pain, hurt, sadness, and lower vibrations were still hooked within my cellular body, within my emotional body, within my mental body, within my spiritual body, that somehow kept moving through dreams and memories and thoughts. And it just gave such a liberation and freedom for me to see how I could meet these areas that I was holding on to and just allow them to move in a way that my breath, my acceptance, and most important, my ability to move forward to be in the present versus holding on to the past. For I know sometimes many of us, we can hold on to the past and live from that past. And as we know, there's really no past or future, there's only presence. And so this opportunity gave me a point to not only let go, but to meet each and every density that wanted to come up to be seen. So I am very grateful for the experiences that came up, because these illusions of losing friendships, these illusions of not being able to come back to a place and still feel that same love, was just a limitation that my mind held on to. And so as I met these limitations and illusions, it gave me this greater expansion of energy that I feel right now, that's moving through my hands, moving through my healings, and really just moving through the compassion for those that have to meet old experiences, old homes, old locations. This lens of saying how important it is to bring our love to each of these situations, which I feel by moving through this, it's given me just a greater capacity and awareness to help others to really move clearly through areas that may have created some sense of hurt within them. So Sayalita gave me this opportunity to revisit a lot of these old wounds and pains that I didn't realize that were within me. Sometimes we move so quickly to our next phase that it gave me the opportunity to fully just sit, be, and allow it to come through me like a wave that was flowing through. So, of course, if any of you are moving through times where past memories, experiences, or energies that want to move through you, please let me know, because it's one of my greatest masteries to sit in a sacred divine heart listening and just hold the space for one to express their deepest pains, their deepest hurts. Because when I was in Mexico, I just allowed that to be expressed in a form where I watched it, I witnessed it, I embraced it, and I allowed it to move through me, whether it was tears, whether it was through some just beautiful crying and allowing the old energies to pass through, and then to meet on the other side just this gift of feeling so free, so open, and so joyful, because there's this new space of presence that's coming forward and allowing everything to move in its most natural form. So I feel when we can let go and we can allow everything to move forward, then we're giving ourselves the greatest space, expansion within our hearts to move to even a greater level of appreciation, a greater level of evolution in our ascension process, and really a greater level of happiness, because we're not being weighed down by the old. We're now allowing ourselves to open up to the new and all the greatness that life offers us. So I'm super grateful to the community of Sayalita, all of the clients, all the friends, and all the experiences that brought the new experience and allowing the old to be dissolved, honored, and respected, but to take honor and love into what this presence is giving us, because really the power is in the presence, and in that presence provides us the greatest liberation to our truth and to our freedom. So what a beautiful healing journey it has been to let go, to allow, and to receive all that's coming forth in these days. And however I can help those that are moving through times that may be hard to release, may be hard to let go, or even revisiting old patterns of the past, it would be my honor to offer a sacred divine heart listening for your highest level of healing. Wishing you all a most beautiful, blessed day.